Lovely. Another thief. Are things truly that bad out there? What on earth could someone think they might find of value here? You're not much to look at. You look perfectly ordinary, actually. Go rob a jewelry store or a bank. I don't have money or jewels here. And what I do have, you probably couldn't use anyway. Most of it takes a particular touch. Of course you can't move. You're caught in a trap. One of my own design. Of course you can't see it. It's a time snare. A small one. I've frozen time under your feet. A little pocket dimension that holds you neatly in place. Simple, clean, easy to do. For me anyway. Try to keep up, please. I hate having to explain the obvious. Now, before I call the town guard, would you like to tell me your name? Nice to meet you, I suppose. I don't actually meet many people, so you've given me some novelty at least. Although there's a reason I avoid people. People are bothersome. And look at you, proving my case. Do you make a habit of breaking into shops? Or am I just lucky? Oh, I see. Not a thief at all. Of course not. Except here you are, entering my shop at night when you think no one is here. All signs point to you being a thief. And not a very good one, despite the fact that you managed to get in. That part impresses me a bit. Come now, don't be dense. My locks are top of the line, and yet you managed to pick them. That wasn't supposed to be possible. You'll have to show me how you did it sometime. If you're not a thief, then what are you doing here? Truly, now that is creative. I applaud the effort. But I don't think anyone would go to this much trouble just to see me. I am not that interesting. Now, I have to assume you broke in to take something. Perhaps one of my more arcane devices, which, as I've said, you probably won't be able to operate anyway. But that doesn't matter now. Once the guard gets here, they'll take you off my hands, and I can go back to sleep. All right, if you insist on sticking to the story, what is it you want with me? I'm a very busy person, you know. No, busy with watches. Don't you even know what sort of shop you've broken into? I'm a watchmaker, that's what I do. And I do it very, very well. No, that's true. I can also make other things. Things that have a bit of a hold over time. Tendrils here, tendrils there. But I don't use them for much. This trap, a few other small things. They're useful for what they are, but they are tools just like everything else. Plus, it's not a good idea to play with time too much. Bad things can happen. Power. What a ridiculous notion. I have no interest in power. Why would I? That bores me. And it sounds like a lot more work. I want to be left alone with my watches. Watches are predictable. Every part in its place, every action as it was built. So much better than people. People are less predictable. Again, look at you, breaking into my shop, not something I expected. Forcing me to get up and deal with this. I sleep just over the shop, you know. I'm always here. Just in case you thought to try this again sometime when I'm not around. Me not being around isn't really a thing that happens. Wait, I think I know you. You've come into the shop a few times. Yes, you have. I recognize your voice, even through your mask. And your eyes. They're striking, did you know that? Very memorable. I've seen you, even if I haven't spoken to you. You've come in asking for me. Over and over again. My people turned you away. Oh no, I remember. One of my staff was particularly exasperated by your efforts. You were so insistent. But I don't work directly with the public. Not ever. That's why I have a staff. You were wasting your breath. It doesn't speak highly of your intelligence that you kept trying when you were told in no uncertain terms to stop. No, it really doesn't. So that's why you're here? Because I refused to see you before? This is not a smart way to enter my good graces. I'm even less inclined now to listen to you than I was before. You need to learn to take no for an answer. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, you leave them alone. And this is what your persistence gets you. Your feet frozen in time while the rest of you waits to be arrested. Didn't anyone ever tell you that no means no? There are always special circumstances. Your reason is the important reason to break my leave me alone rule. Everyone else has to follow the rules, but not you. Is that how it works? Of course you're sorry now. You were caught. Tell me what you were looking for. And you can't say me, I won't believe you. Were you after money? Or is there a particular tool you were hoping to get your hands on? You sure? Not even this one? I call it Kronos Regrets. I know that's a bit of a fanciful name, but I was in a fanciful mood when I first got it working. Fanciful for me, anyway. Is this what you were seeking? You sure? Do you know what it does? It backs up time, just for a few seconds. Most of the time, that's not really good for much. You can't do a lot with a few seconds. But sometimes it can be useful. Not if used a lot, of course. Can't use it very often. It's common sense. Time would start to become lost if it overlapped too much. Too many threads in the line, you know? Like doubling back too many times in a stitch. But it's handy. I would show you, but any time manipulation I do around you right now would unlock your trap. And that's not worth doing. You need to stay right there, safe and sound. So is this what you wanted? Maybe you thought I could turn time back further than it can. You wasted your effort if that's the case. And like I said, you can't use tools like this anyway. It takes someone with a lot of training. Someone with a very deft touch. You don't look like the type. But perhaps I'm judging a book by its cover. Oh, do explain. Just how are we alike? Oh, I see. Because of your skill with locks, nimble fingers, a careful touch, locks and watches. I admit to a symmetry there. Locks can be delicate, finicky, personal little things. That describes a lot of the watches I work with. But locks, they don't live. They're frozen until you reach inside them, and even then they only move in the way they're pushed. Watches breathe. They tick with something more than a heartbeat. Heartbeats can be irregular. Watches are constant. They never stop moving, never stop counting. As long as they have power, they can move. And the power can come from something as simple as waving an arm. It doesn't take much. Off they go in their dance of time. Each cog like an organ, working with the others to make the whole thing go. Complicated and interwoven, no part superfluous. No part able to work without the others. Watches are very much alive. So no, I don't fully accept your analogy. We may have a little bit in common, but my craft is a lot more than just jiggling picks and listening for clicks. If you say so. Like I said, my devices are not for you. They're not for anyone. I don't sell these. I don't publicize them. I just make them when I feel like it and then use them if they're useful. That's all. Okay, not this then. What did you want? Oh, I think I see. It's not a particular tool you want, but my skills in tool making. That's why you're looking for me. You want me to make you something for a particular purpose. Am I getting warmer? I've spent years honing my craft, you know. Studying, practicing, getting the delicate touches right. Diving into the work for hours at a time, sometimes without stopping to eat or sleep. From watches to time manipulation. My skills have been hard-won, and much like my time devices, they're not for sale. The only thing sold here is my watches, and only those that I decide to sell. No, I told you. You think your request is somehow different or special, but it isn't. If anything, the most interesting thing about you is how you got in here. And how you learned as much as you seem to know about my craft. That is almost worth asking about. Almost. but I think I'd rather just get you out of here so I can sleep. Sorry, you've kept me talking here long enough. I'm gonna step outside and call the guard. Don't go anywhere. As if you could. They shouldn't be long. Just get comfortable until... Where did you go? You shouldn't have been able to... What did you do? Where are you? You must still be here somewhere. Did you touch something? There wasn't anything in reach that I could see. Well, slipping my time snare. Now, thief, you have my attention. And if you can still hear me, do the smart thing. Be long gone before the guard arrives. I'm sure our paths will cross again sometime. In fact, I think I might make sure of it. Hey, sweetness. If you like what you hear, don't forget to click subscribe so you can hear more. Also, check me out over on Twitch. And if you want to support me, Patreon. Thanks for listening.